Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Priska Osegale, the lead instructor at Gold Imperial Academy, where we teach interested persons pattern drafting and garment construction. Thank you for joining us in class today. Please, if you're yet to subscribe, don't forget to do so before we go ahead. Quickly click the subscribe button and also turn on the notification so that you can get notified each time we post new videos. Today we'll be learning how to make a garment, okay, and we'll also learn how to manipulate our dart to the underbust area of our garment, as well as create a band on our dress. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, so right here before me I have my basic bodice pattern. I have the front block here and I have the back block here. I'll be using these patterns for this garment that we are making today. So I'm going to set apart my back because first of all I'm going to be manipulating my dart to my underbust line to create a different design. Okay, we are going to be transferring our dart to the underbust area of this garment. So to begin, I have my pattern right here, so I'm going to be measuring out my underbust area on my pattern. Okay, I'm using the pattern that has the underarm dart. Whatever pattern you are using, just mark out your underbust line. So let me quickly get to that. So my underbust line is 13.5, so I'll just mark that. I have marked it from my neck point. Now because this shoulder slope is slanting, okay, it's not straight, I may not be able to take the remaining measurements from there. So I will use this straight line, that is the waistline, as my guideline, or I could use the bust line as my guideline. So all I'll do is to measure from the point I marked earlier to my waistline, that is 2 inches. So I'll just replicate that 2 inches on another part so that I can connect in a straight line. So here it is, I'm connecting now in a straight line. Alright, so the next thing you are going to do afterwards is to widen your neckline. Now if you do not want your neckline to open too much, you can leave it the way it is or just widen by 0.5, okay? But if you really want it to be wide, you can open up by as much as 1 inch. For mine, I think I like 0.5 so that it does not become too wide. Okay, the next thing to do is to connect this point, that is the point we have widened the neckline, to the underbust line. So this is the underbust line, or the empire line, underbust line, or the empire line. So all I'll just do is to connect. I'm connecting like this. Okay, now I could leave this like this, or I could also shape it in a way that it becomes, you know, a bit curvy. So all I'll just do is to, let me use this ruler. So this is all I'll do. I could come up by, say, like 1 or 2 inches. There's the 1 inch. So I'll connect back to my underbust line like so. Okay, so can we see? So we can do it like this. Okay, in that case, if I'm going to curve it up, that means I'll curve it first before I now connect my neck widening to my underbust line. Do we understand? So I'm going to do like this. Okay. Okay. So after drawing that line, I will now redraw my line right here. So I'm connecting it to my center front. So from the point at which I have widened my neckline, okay. So remember, you can make your neckline as wide as you want, but I do not really like the neckline of this kind of garment to be too wide. Okay, so here it is. So that means if you want hair to be, if you just want it to be straight, okay, if you want it to be straight, you connect all the way to this point. But because we are covering it up a bit, okay, we went up by 1 inch, go up by 1 inch, okay, and then we connected back to the empire line. The underbust line is also called the empire line. So this is what we have. All right, so this is our waistline, this is our underbust line. So this is my pattern, this is the upper part. I'm gonna be sectioning this pattern in this way. All right, this becomes the bodies, while this becomes the band. Okay, so I'm going to just separate that way. Okay, all right, so here it is. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to move this dart, that is the underarm dart, into my underbust line. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to extend my dart to the bust line now. Okay, extend my dart to the bust line. So I'm just redrawing so that I can get to the bust line. Then I'll also extend this dart, that is the underarm dart, to my bust line as well. Okay, all right, so here we have it. So the next thing I want to do is I want to cut open my dart point. All right, so I've cut open my dart line, so all this goes away, so now I'll crease my underarm dart. I'm creasing on the new line that I drew, so I'm closing. Okay, you secure this with your paper tape or any tape that you're using. So you can see that my dart has opened up here. Okay, so this is what I'll be pleating now. Before I secure this, there's something I like to do, and that is to draw my slash lines. Okay, so it is my slash lines that I will be moving my dart into. Okay, so that I will now pleat the dart so that it's not too bulky. Okay, so here it is. So now I can now go ahead and close my dart and move it to my underbust line. Okay, so here we are. So now I can go ahead and open my lines. You can see that even the waist dart has been used up as part of the pleats that we'll be having on the underbust line. Okay, so you can number this so that if anyone detaches, you'll be able to fix it back from where it detached from. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have 4 points. So here, this is how it would be. Okay, can we see my dart has opened up here. This is going to be where I'm going to be pleating. Okay, you can pleat it, you can gather it. So now I'm going to put this on another paper and then spread on that paper and secure. Do we understand? Okay, so let me quickly do that. Okay, so I changed my mind about having more slash lines. I'll just use my darts, okay, so that I can have enough to pleat. So let me secure this back. So I'm just making use of my darts now. Okay, so here it is. So I could either through my darts, okay, so I could either do this, so I'll just blend it, okay, and then go ahead with cutting it on my garment, okay, but I prefer to do this. This also serves as a guideline for me to know where I am pleating on the garment. So this is it for the bodies, and this will now be our band. So for the front, I can now close my dart and blend that. Okay, I can close my dart now. Okay, so I'll be blending this. I'll have to fix the paper to blend this and also blend this point as well. Now to the back. Since I widened my front neckline by 0.5, I would also have to do the same to the back. Otherwise, I like to do this. I will just match my shoulder point of both the front and the back, like so. Okay, and then mark out so that I'll be sure that I have the same width. Okay, so I do this. All right, so I can connect in any way. You can make it a round neckline or any shape that you want. For me, I'll be going with the round neckline. And since my front is already open all the way to the empire line, I'll just make this a moderate depth. I wouldn't want it to be too deep. So for this, I'll just deepen it by 2 inches. Okay, I'll deepen by 2 inches and I have widened already. So I'll just square this out a bit. Okay, and now connect. Okay, if you're not comfortable with this, you could use the other ruler. All right, just move it around a bit and then connect. The next thing to do will now be to cut, or you can also add your seam allowance on your pattern. If you're adding your seam allowance, then you just cut the way I am cutting. Okay, so this is the back, and since the front is having a band, you could also add a band to the front. So this is all you do. You just match your waistline and then you mark it. Okay, so that the waistline can be the same. All right, so you mark it. You remember when we did for the back, it was 2 inches above the waistline. You could do the same here as well. Do 2 inches above the waistline, or you just use your band to mark exactly where that will be on your pattern. Okay, so we can see this. All right, it's looking great already. The next thing I'm doing will be to section my pattern. Okay, so I'm sectioning my pattern. Okay, so for the front, I can now close my dart and blend that, and also here I'll have to close my dart. I can also close this dart as well, because all I'll just do is extend it all the way to the top of my pattern and then close that dart. That will also help in the fit of the garment. All right, so I wouldn't have to hold this dart at all. Okay, so I'll just extend and then close the dart. So these are our pattern pieces. This is for the front. This is for the front as well. This is for the back. Okay, so this is for the back as well. So we're going to be using this to cut our bodies for the garment, and then we'll cut our half circle. The bottom will be the half circle, that is from the waist to the hem will now be a half circle. Okay, so this is the pattern. So please, when you draft yours, please, you can tag us. We're taking this now and we'll cut it on our fabric. Okay, so let's quickly do that. I'm using this fabric, is a chiffon fabric. Okay, I have just 2 yards of this fabric, so I'm going to be cutting the half circle first. Okay, we have a video on how to cut your half circle. I'll be adding the link to that video in the description box. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting the half circle first. All right, I think I would like it to have a pocket, so that will determine how I'm going to be cutting that. So I'll quickly cut the half circle for the bottom of the dress first, and we'll come back and cut the bodies of the dress. So now I am placing on fabric. Don't forget to write your cutting instructions on your pattern as well as all your annotations. So I'm going ahead now and I am going to place this on fabric and place the front pattern on fabric as well, and then add all my seam allowances, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut that out on fabric. So I'll be doing that for both the front and the back. Alright, so now we are done with the cutting. You can see it all laid out with their patterns. So next we'll be stitching this. You'll get to see how to stitch it in our next video. Now if you're yet to subscribe, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can be abreast of whatever is happening here on Gold Imperial Academy's YouTube channel, and also click the notification bell so that each time we upload new videos you will be the first to know about it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again soon. My name is Priska Oserale. See you soon.